guys, it's Cindy Lietz, your polymer clay tutor, and in today's studio tip I'm going to show you how to make a Skinner blend. I'm going to show you a couple of different versions. Now, the coolest thing about polymer clay is that you can use it in you can blend it actually in a beautiful color blend that shifts from one color to another, and you can do it in a two-color shift like I have done here, where you've got white to black, but you can also do it in more complicated, such as a rainbow blend, such as this. Now in a previous video I showed you the old school way of making blends, and it was a stepped blend where you actually mixed different amounts of clay together by hand and you got a color blend like this. But a few years ago, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, a polymer clay artist named Judith Skinner came up with a much simpler method of making a graduated blend, and it's actually a lot smoother as well. And I'm going to show you how to do that. What you take is, if we're going to do the two-color one here. So I've got two colors. You'll see the biggest effect if you use colors with contrast in them. If you use two colors that are very, very close to each other, you may not see the shift as clearly, but it'll still show. It can be quite a pretty effect. Now I'm going to use, where it is, I need a little bit of water. I want to stick these two together temporarily, and this clay is quite sticky and the lights are a little bit warm, so I'm going to put some water in between my layers here, but you don't necessarily have to do that depending on if your clay is sticky or not. And I'm just going to lay these two on top of each other, and I'm going to cut them into a rectangle like this. It could be a square or a rectangle. With the water in between, it comes apart super easy. And now we have a rectangular shape, two of them, one of each color. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut, while they're stacked together, we're going to cut them from corner to corner. And essentially what we're going to do is create some triangles. So I'm going to just cut straight through the stack, both stacks at once from corner to corner. Then I'm going to peel them apart, and I have some triangles. Now I'm going to dry them off because I don't want to mix the water into the clay when I blend it. If you have really stiff clay, you won't have that issue. Now I'm going to take this triangle and flip it over so that it matches the one on the bottom. So the white clay on top of white clay. And this will be the bottom part of the rectangle. Then I'm going to match up the black on the other side just to reform the triangle. I mean the rectangle that was there before. Only now we're going to have white on one side and black on the other. Okay, so as we blend this whole stack together, it's going to be similar to this one here, where if you look carefully you can actually see a triangle shape here, and we're going to be blending this together, but on this side basically you're going to have more white and just a touch of black. Halfway through it's going to be 50-50. You're going to have equal amounts white and equal amounts black, and then by the time you get down to this side of the blend, you're going to have very little white and a lot of black. So it's the same idea, only much simpler. And I guess Judith had a background in science or math or something, and that's what made her think in this geometric kind of way, which was nice for all of us. So I'm just going to roll this a little bit so that I know that they're stuck together, and a little thinner so that I can put it through the pasta machine. Now we're going to run it through the pasta machine at the thickest setting, and I'm putting it in carefully that I have white on one side and black on the other. I don't want to turn it this way. I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to kind of try to control the sides with my fingers here. So as I roll it through, we'll have one sheet of clay. Now what we have to do is fold it in half. Always fold it in half the same way every time. And then we're going to run it through the pasta machine again. And what this does is each time we do that, it starts mixing those layers together and starts creating a blend. Now at first, it will look terrible, or you won't see much of an effect. But as you keep doing it, the colors will start to blend together. So you can see it's starting to blend. So I'll keep doing that and come back and show you a little further along. Okay, I'm about halfway through the process. It's starting to blend together. It's still quite streaky and a little bit uneven. There's still little bits here that aren't completely folded in. But I will just continue to do this folding in half and running it through till it's much smoother. And then I'll come back. Okay, so I went through another bunch of times and it is much smoother now. I could probably go on a little bit further if I wanted to. You'll find that you'll need to go through, depending on how soft or hard your clay is, you know, anywhere from 15 to 40 times before you have it properly blended. So that's how you do that one. As you can see, it's quite gray. There's not any really pure white at this side and not really any pure black, because there was still just a little touch of black here, remember when the triangle was there, and just a little touch of white. So you never really get a completely pure color on either side unless you do something that's called an offset Skinner blend. So I'm going to show you that. So we've got 2 more pieces of clay here, and I'm going to use the water again. You can use this water trick on anything that you don't want your clay to stick together on. And when it's raw, of course. So I'm cutting out another triangle again. Or rectangle. It's getting late in the day. I'm surprised my brain is still even working. Anyway, so here we go. We have a rectangle. And this time, instead of going from corner to corner, I want to leave a little bit of the white on one side and a little bit of the black on the other. So I'm going to offset my blade and come in about 1/4 of an inch off the end here, and about 1/4 of the inch off this end here. So I'm offsetting it. Needs to be about the same size. You can measure it if you want. I tend to eyeball everything. But I'm just going to cut through both layers like that. Peel them apart once again. Dry them off once again. You don't want that water mixing in with the clay, otherwise you'll get bubbles and plaquing and other issues. Now we're going to take this and we'll have to flip it around to get it to match. We're stacking it the same way, only it has this little flat edge on it this time. And we need to do this black one here. It's got the black flat edge. Like that. So that's why it's called offset, because that cut is offset a bit. This time when we blend it and fold it and do all that, it's going to leave a bit of a pure white section here and a little bit of a pure black section, and make for a bit more of an obvious blend. We're going to run it through the pasta machine the same way. I like to use my fingers on the side so it doesn't get too wide. Fold it in half again and keep doing this until it's blended. We'll come back when it's about halfway blended for you. Okay, so I'm about halfway through the blending process. I have to be a little bit careful that I don't bend it too sideways and get too much gray into this white, but we still have some pure white on this side and some pure black on that side. And what I mean is I need to make sure I keep them straight together and not like kitty corner or angled at all, because then you can mess up the line, the alignment of your blend. So I'll keep blending and come back when I'm done. Alrighty, so this is starting to come along quite nicely. I could blend it a little bit further if I wanted to, but we have a nice white blending off to a nice black edge. Now, clay blends can be used for all kinds of beautiful projects for polymer clay. The Skinner blend is a nice simple way of making a gradated blend. You can, like I said, you can get really complicated and have all these different angled ones and make some rainbow blends. Plus there's a bunch of other neat ways as well, other techniques and faster ways to do color blends as well, which I'll show you in another video. So my question is, have you ever made one of these Skinner blends? Do you have any challenges with them? And make sure to leave those in the comment section below and let us know what you think. So if you like this video and it was helpful for you, make sure to press that like button. That would be great. And if you have suggestions or anything for future videos, please let us know. So we'll see you next time, and bye for now.